It's KZN Breeders' Race Day on Sunday, the 22nd of June 2025. We've got a mammoth 10-race program here at Hollywoodbets Greyville. We are racing on the turf and on the poly track. So 10 races to look forward to. Joining me in studio is Dees Dynant, and we'll get Dees' thoughts in a moment. The headliner on the day will of course be the 1600 meter race. That is the KZN Breeders' Mile, and looking forward to that contest. Race number one, we do have a rerun for you, so we'll get into that rerun, and then we've got an interview as well, and then we'll get Dees' thoughts on the first race on the program, which is set to be run over 1400 meters at 11:40.
Of the course, Vanacam at the 300 meter marker. Now attacks Dungeon Master. Golden Operator starting to warm up with each and every stride, but very, very green. And it's Vanacam. Golden Operator. If this one runs straight, it'll just about win. And running on is Soldier Boy between them. Soldier Boy's going to get them all on the line. Soldier Boy and the riders off number one. Both riders have come down.
I've had the opportunity of coming to work him the other morning. He's a beautiful, big, strong, good-looking horse with a very nice action. He showed me in his work a lot better than his form is. I think you can look for an improved run from him. He still might be a little bit green and soft, but he's going to improve from the run, and he'll definitely run a better race.
Well, there we saw the rerun of Eastern Highlands when finishing back in that fourth position on debut. He's currently your favourite at 22-10. Number 1, Blackjack Randall, is at 28-10. Number 5, Flag Champ from the bang informed Gareth van Zyl yard is trading at 3-1. Number 7, Director, is a 7-2 shot. It's in 7-1 and a better bar those. Now, these exotics will begin with the running of race number 2. So therefore, this race here, it could tend to be a bit of a tricky race to get the day started, but I think these two horses, numbers 1 and 4, could be the answer in race number 1. I think between one of them, our winner could come from those, but I like the look of Eastern Highlands. I think this horse will improve nicely now, stepping up in trip to 1400 meters. I like the manner in which he closed off on debut.
Yeah, just a slight concern for me is that the horse wasn't fancied first up, 33-1, but may have just come up on them rail. But yeah, the improvement factor is there, and a good draw as well. It's a mixed race meeting, so keep an eye on which races are on the turf and which races are on the poly track. We kick off on the turf. Mike Miller's run a Blackjack Randall. Yeah, that last start behind Blizzard Quest, nice run. They've gone with the blinkers, but the most interesting runner has to be the well-bred son of Canford Clips, number 5, Flagman, because there was talk for him first up. I don't know what the feedback would have been from Simanga Kumalo to Garrett van Zyl, but whatever it was, I think don't read too much into that debut run. The form line doesn't inspire much, but engaging the services of Gavin Larena does tell the story. So I think, you know, between numbers 1, 4 and 5, you can play your trifectas and quartets. I don't know much about the first timer, number 8, 13, 14, who gets the services of Craig Zaki. And then the Hollywood Racing team got Director in the race. But I think the winner should come from 1, 4 and 5, and then you can play around, you know, your fancies for trifectas and quartets. But if I had to go with just what I heard on debut, I'd like to see number 5, Flag Champ, run a much better race.
Yeah, he is half brother to Flagman. Let's see what he can do, stepping up in trip to 1400 meters. So 1, 4 and 5, the numbers from D's in race number 1, and let's see how it all unfolds.
I'll start off. The exotics will be race number 2, and this is a juvenile plate for fillies over 1400 meters, and we stay on the turf for race number 2. And let's go to our package.
Jenny, darling, disappointing first time. I've had the whole family, Parmenian, Actor, Flight Path. Yeah, I thought, I expected a far better run, but was green, and around the turn I expected her to be green again, so she's going to need it.
Yeah, Active Grey, she's actually a very nice filly. After her last run, we were battling a little bit with her shins. That's why we've taken a bit more time to run her. The form's worked out very well. The horse ran third, Miss Glitter Sparkles came in 1. So she should be in with a big chance. She's working well. And it's not the hardest field. I think she'll have a big shot.
Yeah, that's two nice sprints. And I think she's running further. Even this 14 might be a bit sharp for her. And she's not drawn the greatest. But, you know, she's Natal Breeders' Day, and she's owned by Natal. The owner Eric, who is going to be there, so she may just need this one, but she's like I say, she's improving.
Outside of the bipod, as I mentioned, you need to get on the tote by 12:15. Let's have a look at some betting, and we'll bring up the field. Horse number 2, Love the USA. From an informed owner, it must be said, that is Lucky Vs Rafi Badiachi. From 7-2, that's shortened into 5-2. Drifted out, number 4, Winter Blessing, from 9-2 out to 7-1. Then we got number 8, Act of Grace, at 5-2. Number 9, Charge It, at 7-2. And horse number 12 is trading at 6-1, which is very interesting for me, because if you have a look at number 12, Sol Namaro, is obviously, got a jump from a wide draw, and then you compare the form line with number 2, Love the USA. It's advantage number 2, but that's a big discrepancy in the pricing. 6-1, number 12. But horse number 2 is attracting the betting support into 5-2. On that last start, there shouldn't be much to tune between the two. So numbers 2 and 12, if you want to follow that form line behind that horse that won that day, called Royal Kailini. And then those are the 2 right horses in the race, and the right money anti-post could be on number 2. And then if you're playing wide, the obvious horses here, Rail, numbers 8 and 9.
These, I like the look of number 9, Charge It, this 2-year-old daughter of Give Me the Green Light from Allison right yard. Her debut effort was quite fair behind Educator. Unfortunately, didn't do anything at her next start. She was disappointing in the Devonair Stakes when beaten into that 4th position, but that form line has held up nicely. Alana, Mrs. Glitter Sparkles coming through to win to enhance that form, and I think that this filly here has got lots of scope for improvement still. And I think now with that run under the belt, she goes around the turn once again. I can definitely see her play a leading role in a race of this nature. Number 8, Act of Grace, showed big improvement last time out on the poly track. I'd like to see her confirm that effort. Chad Little takes right for Glenn Cotton this time around, and she's a filly that can certainly get involved. And then you touched on the 2 that come from the Royal Kailani form line. And number 2, Love the USA, the manner in which she finished off a race on debut was quite encouraging, given that she had a deep draw. She drifted out to the market, which probably indicated that she would have needed the outing, and I think she would have learned plenty with that run under the belt. Informed combination, jumps from gate number 2, and I can definitely see her getting involved. So in terms of the start of the bipod, I'm going to lean towards numbers 2 and 9 as the 2 horses that I'm looking to play around with. Number 9, Charge It, the top choice here, but respect for the 8 and 12.
Respect for 8 and 12. We know that numbers 8 and 9 have been over 1,400 meters on their last start, and I think Riley is 100% right when he talks about form lines. From that run behind Educator for Charge It, Alana has come out to win, beating Glitter Sparkles, and of course Glitter Sparkles coming through to win from that form line behind Alana. That's represented by number 8, Act of Grace. So could be on the right part here, but Love the USA and Sol Namara represents the same form line where Dark Matter has come out to win. It's a tricky start to the bipod. Let's get your numbers.
Yeah, 2 and 9.
2 and 9 for Rahil, and I'm just going to play it a bit safe and include number 12.
Race number 3, this is the start of the place accumulator. 12:50 is the off time, 1,400 meters the distance, and let's get into our package.
Miss Sakura's come under the drive and asked to run. She's looking to pick up. She is going to pick up, but is it going to be enough time? Because Dark Matter, the racing experience is showing here. And Dark Matter, clear by 2, doing as she is bred. And it's Dark Matter for the victory. Miss Sakura second best, Cassandra third, and then came Belligerent.
Yeah, definitely a great run. I mean, I won the race on Green Light Sky, is it? And she won well. So and she's a nice filly. So she looks like she's on the improvement. She ran a good place last time, and hopefully she just carries on improving.
Yeah, look, she's learning, and she'll benefit from the experience of the run. I think she can be a bit hot as well, so I think she might need 2 runs before she knows what's going on.
Cassandra ran a very, very pleasing race on debut, winning that 3rd position. She's currently trading at 7-10 in the market for Glenn Cotton and Diego de Gavea. Number 7, Queen of the Air, is at 28-10. It's an 8-1 and better ball. Though start of the place accumulator, Deeza's 2-year-old daughter of Act of War put in a cracking effort on debut, and given that she's got the experience now under the belt, she jumps from gate number 3. She goes over distance that looks will suit her. The manner in which she hit the line would indicate that 1400 meters will be right up her alley, and this could be her race to lose. And she's certainly got the fitness edge over Queen of the Air.
Looks that way, Rael, and although she is a 2-year-old in open company, one would think that she could be better than this field. I must just compliment Glenn Cotson. We heard it from Chad Little there. Very often we see the chop and change of jockeys, but Chad does all the work here in KZN. But Diego rode this horse first up, and really nice to see Glenn keep him on again, because it looked like she put in a very good run first up. 400 to finish will grab your attention, and nice to see him get the chance again, Diego, for Glenn Cotson. So, yep, she is the filly that I think of the exposed form stands out. But Queen of the Air just keeps me interested on what I saw of her. That step up in distance from 1400 to 1900 meters is a big jump in distance. I'm not saying that she doesn't see the distance out. It could have been the going on the day that found her out as well. But over 1400 meters, if she decides to come out fresh, Blue Sky Thoroughbreds owned and bred this filly, they'll be hoping for a nice day. It's the KZN Breeders' Day as well. And we wish all the breeders well on the day, along with the owners and jockeys and whoever's forming part of this race meeting. But number 7, Queen of the Air, I think if she's ready or thereabouts when it comes to her fitness, she could possibly be a threat to number 3, Cassandra, but I'm sure those will be the two popular numbers in the PAs, numbers 3 and 7, and many may just take a chance and bank at number 3, but in my perm, I'll include both.
Yeah, it could be nice to box exactors to play in race number 3 on the program with numbers 3 and 7. They look to be the only two horses that could possibly win in the third race, but Cassandra, 7 to 10 in the market, she's certainly going to be a popular choice.
We're on to the big one, the pick 6, and it's the captain of all KwaZulu-Natal Breeders' Juvenile Plate. It's over 1200 meters. You need to get on by 13:30. But before we talk about the field, which looks like a very interesting race with some form to work around, let's go to that package.
Yeah, obviously, a very good run first time. We like him a lot. Probably last time, drawn 1 wasn't the best for him. He sort of got stuck on the rail and there wasn't much room. This time drawn badly, but there's only 8 runners, and listen, like I said, we like him. He's come on, and hopefully he'll be a runner there.
I'll be on to the betting now for race number 4 as we bring up the field, and this pick 6 is worth a go on the Sunday. And number 1, George's Magic, is at 4 to 1. No, let's just get this right. We're on to race number 4, and yes, George's Magic is 4 to 1. Scratched is number 2. That will be updated. Number 3, War Talk, at 5 to 2. Number 4, Fortress of Fire, 33 to 10. Number 6 is Dungeon Master at 11 to 2. And there is some money here for that interview we saw with Stuart Ferry, Master Silvano, at 28 to 10. I'm going to begin there, Rael, with Master Silvano, because I worked that day at Hollywoodbets. Did we work together that day?
No, I wasn't there, Deez.
Yeah, because that day I remember clearly. I went over to Stuart Ferry because his horse kept grabbing my attention, and he said he's a nice horse. I'm just concerned about the distance and maybe greenness, but whatever happens today, he's one to follow, and they'll bring him on. That was a very pleasing, encouraging debut run. It was Hollywoodbets Scottsville's big race there. Yeah. I think it was Alistair Cohen and Rachel and Warren and Ferner. Yeah, I can remember it clearly now. This horse ran a good race. He was there, he stayed on, he wasn't tiring. You had to like what you saw. If he handles the turn, and of course, I mentioned that the guys have to keep an eye on when they're structuring their bets, because now we move on to the poly.
Yes.
It's a mixed race meeting. So guys, when you're structuring your bets, just have a look at what surface we're racing on, because race number 4 is definitely on the poly track. So if he handles the poly, he goes around the turn, there's lots more to come. He's possibly the right horse in the race from what I saw on debut number 8, Master Silvana. And when I look past him for the pick 6, I'll consider number 1, George's Magic, number 3, War Talk, and horse number 4, Fortress of Fire, who's been thrown in the deep end after winning on debut, but no match for those horses in the Godolphin Barb and the Gate Crasher. But 1, 3, and 4 will be the backup for 8.
Yeah, Deez, I'm with you. I like number 8, Master Silvano, and the encouraging thing was the manner in which this horse actually fought back and hit the line. because he looked to be a beaten force going through the 200, the 250. He looked like he was going out the back door, but he managed to find more down that inside running rail, and he actually kicked on quite strongly over the final bit of the race, and he was only beaten just over length on debut, so there's certainly plenty more to come. The distance will be more up his alley, just that deep draw that he's got to negotiate, but I think with Sean now in the irons, he knows the horse well, given that he rides for Stuart Ferry a lot, and I definitely agree that he's a horse to beat. George's Magic, this horse, I think perhaps he's looking for 1400 meters, but from gate number 1, he should be a lot closer to the pace, and Count of Ruin actually seems like quite a nice sort from the Peter Muscat yard. So this horse, George's Magic, could certainly be very effective here. And this horse, Fortress of Fire, I think he's been very disappointing to date, because I remember that interview on debut when he won. Michael Roberts mentioned that this is a horse to keep an eye on, and he could turn out to be quite useful, but his 2 subsequent efforts have been poor, to say the least. So I'd like to see him return to some sort of form before we can have any type of confidence with him. I know it is a significant step down in class, but you'd like to see a horse sort of improve before you can go in with them. So I think 8 from 1, those could be the 2 horses that you want to play around. But yeah, Master Silvano, current price 28 to 10. Would you say he's worth taking a chance and bankering in the place accumulator?
Yeah, PA, I think. PA, let's take a chance. I mean, I know there's unknowns, Polytrack, Turn, etc., but on what we saw first up, I think place accumulator. And then Sean Cherry's runner, number 3, War Talk. You know, Sean always supports his race meeting, buying from the KZN breeders. He's had a lot of success in the past at this race meeting. Doesn't have as many runners as he usually does, but his horse, number 3, War Talk, could be nicely placed here. So 8, the horse to beat. Back up numbers 1, 3, and 4 if you are looking for cover in leg 1 of the Pick 6.
We're on to race number 5, the start of jackpot number 1. 5 past 2 is the off time on the Polytrack. 1700 meters is the distance, and let's get into our package.
Well, Possible Bomber, she's going to release the extra. Definitely, you know, these Lancaster Bombers, they love the ground, and she'll definitely release the extra. She's a nice filly to fill the quartet.
Favourite here is number 10, Window to My Soul, trading at 2 to 1 for Alison Wright and Gavin Larena. Number 4, T-Dog, is a 7 to 2 shot. Number 2, Quinn's Time, is at 4 to 1. It's 6 to 1, Perfectly Picked, 8 to 1, and Better Ball those. Now, Window to My Soul showed very good improvement last time out when stepped up in trip to 2,000 meters. The horse that finished 3rd in that race, Silver Platter, has come through to frank that form line. Him dropping back in trip to 1700 meters, not so sure that ticks too many boxes for me, D's. And this horse, Quinn's Time, I know it is a significant step up in trip, but the form that he brings into the race, I think Aristocratic is a very, very smart sort. Count of Ruin is a smart sort as well. I think his form lines could just be a bit too strong for the opposition that he does meet, given that he stays the trip. If he stays the trip, I think he'll probably win.
Short and sweet for me. Window to My Soul, one of the best bets on the card.
Sure.
Watched him last time out.
Drop and trip, no issue.
No issue. Enjoys the Polytrack as he showed last time out. It's a plus for me. Engaging the services of Gavin Larena, it's a plus for me. Knowing how he finished off his race last time out, Gavin can position him wherever he wants. He'll find a good finish. You mentioned Silver Platter coming out to win. I'm going to banker this in all bets. I like the horse a lot. All he needs to do is confirm the improvement shown last time out. He wins. If you're looking for cover, I agree with you. Number 2, Quinn's Time, and number 4, T-Dog from an informed stable. That is it for me, Ryle. 2 and 4 will be the cover, but I'm going to go confidently up with number 10, Window to My Soul, to confirm last time out.
Yep, number 4, T-Dog, definitely has got to be respected. On that Danube run, he's got to Window to My Soul, well held. So let's see how that form line works out. And then number 2, Quinn's Time, who I think could be a massive contender here, should he be able to see out the extra 500 meters, which he tries for the first time. So 2, 4, and 10, 3 horses that you could play around in race number 5, and that is the start of Jackpot 1.
We're on to race number 6, and this is the Blue Sky Thoroughbreds KwaZulu-Natal Breeders 1900, and we are on the Polytrack for this race, so take note of that. Do we have a package? Yes, we do. We got reruns and interviews.
Down down the middle. Rainbow Lorikeet starting to build up ahead of steam, but Little Susie runs across Rainbow Lorikeet. My Soulmate's a big runner on the outside. Beating Wings also trying to come through. Rainbow Lorikeet just can't find a way through. And it's Little Susie the last 100. Little Susie, they put the money down like soldiers. From in second, My Soulmate, Mocha Blend and Rainbow Lorikeet.
Okay, yeah, Lucretius is a funny horse to say the least. Obviously Carl did a great job with him, but I'm still learning about him. I was more than happy with his work at home and the way he was settling down, but to date he's ran 3 times for me and disappointed every time. So I'm told that Mr. Zaki gets the best out of him, so I'm very hopeful on Sunday that he'll put up a good performance. But as we say, and everybody knows, he's very temperamental, but his work at home is top class.
African Dusk doing nicely, small field. He's got the ability to be in the frame. I think he might be in the quartet.
Well, I think they're all running for second, yeah, and the betting will tell a story. Number 1, Hats Queen, is at 6-10, and personally I think rightfully so. What she's been racing against to what she takes on, it is a big drop in class. The average rating of a race last time out was a 104. This is an 80. Number 2, Queen Amina, is a 9-2 shot. Number 4, Sasha Stream, is at 5-1. And then 6, African Dusk, is at 8-1. So Raheel, I know that Hats Queen hasn't been on the surface, but the good draw is a plus. Gavin Arena is a plus. He's won on the horse. He's run second. He's had 2 tries on her for a first and second. The way Tony Peter has been racing her, you can see that she's rated. South African Fillies Classic, South African Fillies Oaks, East Coast Handicap, Will Lavington. She's matched strides with the best of her generation in the Highveld and here in KZN. Against this type of field, unexpected to win and win well. Polytrack, some may say I'm sitting on the fence. These, I'd like to take her on. If you're going to take her on, numbers 2, 4 and 6. Those are the only runners, but then I go against my rule because it becomes 4 horses. So I'm all in with the banker.
Deez, I think she'll win. I agree with you. The form that this filly brings to the table, she's a bomber from that penultimate run behind Mascherino, winning the Tote Oaks. My Soulmate ran second last time out behind Little Susie, was run up in the Tote Oaks. So I think that the form is far too superior. She would have done work on the sand up in the Highveld, and therefore Tony would have brought her down, and he would have had this race in mind for this filly. And yeah, I think she's going to take a power beating. As you open up, you mentioned that they're all running for second. Yeah. No complaints. I think best bet on the card, and she's the filly that you could look towards adding in those all-to-comes.
All-to-comes, exotic banker, and it is going to be in race number 6, and the horse is called Hats Queen.
Race number 7 next up. The 7th race is the start of Jackpot 2. This is set to be run over 1,200 meters. Clifton Stud, KwaZulu-Natal Breeders 1,200 on the poly track. 3:15 the off time, and in race number 7, let's have a look at our package.
Yeah, listen, his last 2 have been disappointing, but Shawnee's back on her nose and best, and you know, this is his race. He's won it 2 of the last 3 years, I think. So listen, he's doing well at home. Those last 2, obviously, like I say, disappointing, but he's doing well, and I think he'll run a much better race.
Agrada doing nicely. First run on the poly, first run around the turn. I actually wanted to step him up to a mile, but there wasn't a mile on the grass, and I didn't want to ask him 2 questions over the distance and the poly, so the question will be the poly, and the distance should be okay. Kalahari Roller never runs a bad race. On the poly, 1,200 meters. His wins have been over 1,000, but he's run places over 1,200. He's as game as can be, and I'm just hoping he's up against it a little bit, but I'm hoping he can do well.
Yeah, you know, she's special to me, and we've waited a long time to bring her back from a problem, and we just hope if we get her back to her best, she's going to be a huge runner. It's a second run from a rest. Unfortunately, that's how it's fallen, but she's working very nicely at home, and she's the right horse to put into quartets and trifectas.
Probably might just need this coming off a long break and with a bad draw, but we always liked him. He showed, you know, he won really well, and then he sort of went off form. So sent him for a holiday on the farm. He's come back. He's doing well. He's a happy horse. So just want to see him run on.
It's a very, very tricky race, race number 7 on the program. Number 5, Tara Star, your 7-2 favorite. Number 3, Agrado, 5-1 into 4-1. Number 1, Disting at 9-2. And number 9, Silver Tudor at 11-2. It's then 7-1 and better bar those. These, I know you like a horse at a double figure price here. And I like a horse as well at a double figure price. And I would have thought this horse may have been a touch shorter in the market given that, given what he has done in the past and especially his course in distance form. But I think 10-1 is terrific value, and you're getting 2-1 for a place. About number 2, Proud Master. He's a 6-time winner of a course in distance from 9 appearances. Last time out reported that he was short. That form line has worked out. This is what it means. Has been an absolute revelation for MJ Ordendal. He's reeled off a hat-trick winning his last 2 after that effort. And yeah, jumping from gate number 2, Stuart mentioned that Sean Wheel is back aboard him, and there's no doubt that Stuart will have this horse spot on for this race day. He mentioned that he's won it 2 of the last 3 times. Eric Burr has got a number of runners on the day, and he'll be looking for a big KZN Breeders' race day. And this horse could just be in the right race because it is certainly a bit of a step down in class given the quality that he has been running against.
Yeah, it looks that way. I just want to give the guys up the betting as a guide. Number 1 at 9-2. 2, Royal Likes is a 10-1 shot. Number 3, Agrado at 6-1. Then number 5, Tara Star, the filly, that's at 7-2. Now Agrado is 9-2 now, not 6-1. I just changed here as I refreshed. Horse number 7 is at 7-1. 9, Silver Tudor at 11-2. And the runner was Royal mentioned he likes a horse in double figures. Proud Master. I like one here, Mr. Hendy. That's trading at 16-1. And I'll tell you why. You know, Proud Master is a poly specialist, so is Mr. Hendy. Course and distance, they both have superb records. Mr. Hendy is a horse that, you know, if he has things his way, if he gets to the front and they allow him to dictate, he always seems to run well. And I looked at the race and the speed map with the horses that are on his inside, and maybe even with the horses that are drawn well. I personally think that there's no horse that can match him for speed in the early part of the race unless this horse doesn't jump on terms. So I think Jabu Jacobs will easily get over, but how much has spent energy because he's been coming off a 2.5-month break. So if, you know, I chatted to Tony Rivelin the other day on course, and he said, it's been so frustrating with all the seconds and all the places. My horses are running well, I just can't find the winner's enclosure. Well, maybe this horse could, you know, bring them back into the number 1 box. So number 12, Mr. Henley, at a big price, 16-1. Ryan likes number 2, Proud Master, at 10-1. That's my value in the race. A nice exacta, maybe even some swingers with numbers 2 and 12. And then the cover numbers are going to be numbers 3 and 5 for the pick 6. 3, Agrado, he's got all the ability in the world. He's just been in and out when it comes to his form. And then Tara Star with Richard Faria taking the ride again, having partnered her last time out. So the cover here for the pick 6, if you don't like numbers 2 and 12, numbers 3 and 5 going to be the cover. So in numerical order, Ryle, 2, 3, 5 and 12.
Yeah, I think number 1, Disting, is worth an inclusion. She's been running in some competitive races of recent, the Poinsettia, South African fillies, guineas, and perhaps she doesn't stay, and now that she goes sprinting, she could be effective. And this horse, Acacia's Blossom D's, on a day she's very capable, and she returned off a long layoff last time out, and not a bad effort, carrying 63.5, only beaten 4 lengths behind Buttercup Baby.
Yeah, she's got a good course and distance record as well, but I'm going to minimize the Premier Ryle. 2, 3 and 5 for me. I think I'm going to play those numbers in the jackpot, pick 6, Alice. But I like your thinking with Proud Master. I like my horse, Mr. Hendy. 2 nice outsiders here. Race number 6, Proud Master at 10-1 and Mr. Hendy at 16-1 at the time of recording. We got some nice racing on this Sunday, but the main headliner, the feature, is the KwaZulu-Natal Breeders' Mile. It's over 1,600 meters. It's for a stake of 650,000 rand, and it's a big payday for the connections of one of these horses come race number 8. 8, 9 and 10 will be the last pick 3 as well, and I think that could prove very popular amongst racing fans. Let's go to our package.
Out for a run. Behind that, Anfield's Rocket. Cherry Anu on the inside. Royal Victory. It's still Dave the King past the 200-metre marker. Rapidash is trying to close it in inside the 200-metre, but Dave the King is still galloping, and they're not going to get to Dave the King. Back to best and wins it by about 3. Royal Victory second. Cherry Anu and Rapidash.
African Skyline as honest as they come. He's won over 1,500 metres. We're stretching him a little bit over the mile, but I think he deserves to take his place. I'm just hoping for a good run, a conservative ride to see out the distance, and he could feature. Cage's Delight, a horse that's got potential. Quid pro quo's brother, half brother, doing nicely. I'm fitted him with the blinkers. He's drawn on the outside, but I think he has ability to run a good race.
Now, thanks to the guys, let's bring up the field and have a look at the betting for race number 8, and it's like so. Number 2, Cherry Anu, attracting money 4-1, 7-2, 33-10, 3-1 now. And of course, this show recorded much earlier than race day. Number 3, Danton from Stanton, with the money coming for Cherry Anu, that's at 5-1. Number 5, Soldier's Eye, is at 6-1. 6, African Skyline at 7-1. 7, Saxon Dynasty at 8-1. And 33-10 about Justin Snaith's runner called Legal Counsel. Let's begin with Legal Counsel, Ryle, because if you pull out that form line behind, this is what it means. It'll grab your attention. MJ Odendahl's horse winning again midweek. Roche Kadesh winning. GM Batista, you can add to that as well. It's a form line that has held up nicely here in KZN. And the profile of this horse, being a 3-time winner with some fair names in black and white, I think he could be nicely and cleverly placed here by Justin, because Justin Snaith would have options with a horse like this, but he qualifies. He's bred by Blue Sky Thoroughbreds for this race. And when they brought down horses, they must have certainly had this race in mind for this fella. I think this could be his main aim for the season, because he's not up to the task against the better 3-year-olds that we have around. But this race has come along because he's KZN bred, and it could be a nice payday for the guys. So he's possibly the right horse in the race, the 3-year-old.
Deez, I think he's a horse to keep an eye on next season when he turns 4. I think there's lots of ability there. I just don't think the yard have got to the bottom of him. So I think he's one to follow as a 4-year-old. Last time out, cracking performance. He seems to be very, very effective once he's taken to the front.
Yeah. Remember, it was drawn 11 out of 11 last,
yeah.
And that was on the poly. This is on the turf.
Yeah, but Andrew managed to get him to the head of affairs quite easily last time out, and he just found one too good on the day. You touched on the form line. Proudmaster runs in the previous race could enhance that form even more. So this could certainly be a horse that goes into absolutely everything, and he must have a strong winning chance here. I think number 2, Cherry Anu, is the horse to beat. Last time out, he ran 3rd behind the 2 highest rated horses in the race, horses in the region of 125 plus when it comes to their ratings, in the form of Dave the King, Royal Victory. Dave the King, we know, won the Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge at his next start, so that form line has been franked. He's lethal over the distance, and it seems like he has acclimatized nicely to KZN now. So I think from gate number 2, he's going to get the run in transit with the likes of Go Grace and Go and Legal Counsel likely to go forward and give him a nice toe into the race. I think he could be well placed here, number 2, Cherry Anu. And then when you look at the balance, this horse Saxon Dynasty, I think dropping in trip is a negative for me, given that he won over 2,200 meters last time out. I think he's a very exciting son of Korari, one to follow as he gets more runs under the belt. I think he's going to turn out to be a very, very nice sort from the Allison Wright yard. And then you've got a horse like Hat's Pride and Go Grace and Go, come from that same form line behind Al Dante. I don't think there's going to be a lot to choose between them this time around. I think wherever the one runs, the other should be there or thereabouts. And those are horses that you can include into the play as well if you're looking to go a bit wider.
Yeah, I think the cover runners with number 10, Legal Counsel, number 2, Cherry Anu, on that last start behind Dave the King, the average rating of a 111. We just look at this horse's performance behind the Equus reigning horse of the year, and you can say he punched above his weight. If he repeats that run, he's no doubt the horse to beat. And number 7, Saxon Dynasty, I must agree with Ryle on what I've seen to date. There could be plenty more to come from this fellow. Is he generously treated as an 89? Well, you're going to have to be the judge. If you think just that, then don't read too much into how the weights are structured here, because he's the type of horse that could certainly lift his game. So the numbers there in numerical order will be 2, 7, and 10. If you're looking for one more, I'll give my vote to number 9, Go Grace and Grow. But those 3 numbers should be good enough. 2, 7, and 10. You happy with that?
Yeah, happy with those numbers, Dees.
Okay, that's race number 8, and we on to races 9 and 10. But a reminder, race 8 kicks off the last pick 3.
Race number 9, final leg of the pick 6 and place accumulator, racing on the poly track over 1600 meters. 25 past 4 is the off time. Let's get into our package.
Actor coming back from a little ligament injury. He needed his last run badly, and he's going to need the mile. I'm basically just using it for him to do his best, but also just for support from the Natal breeders.
Yeah, this boat run to Rio, a little bit disappointing just last week, but he came out of it well, backed him up quickly. Form before that was consistent.
I think he's going to run a cracker. I think the handicap is still a little bit ahead of him. You know, I could look for 2.3 points and perhaps one lower division, but honestly, he's working very nicely at home. He's probably our best runner on the day. So, you know, one to include each way.
Lucky Dollar, his 3rd run back, so this should be his peak run. So, you know, it's a competitive field, but if they're both in the money, we'll be happy.
Okay, the Gliding Fish, yeah, great run, great win back the other day. He gets the mile. The only time he's ran a mile, he got left 5 or 6 lengths. Very happy with him. The physio Page has done a great job with him. He's sound and happy going into Sunday, so very hopeful of another big run. Wide draw to come over, but luck in running. Let's hope.
Yep, thanks to the trainers for their comments here in race number 9. Villa Viacosa is the favourite at 7-2. Number 2, Willow Express, is at 4-1, along with number 3, Redu. Number 9, Peace Treaty, is a 5-1 shot. Number 1, Actor, at 6-1. It's then 8-1 and better bar those. Louis Cousin, as mentioned, number 6, Rodriguez, could be some nice value, and he is currently trading at 16-1 in the market, so certainly a horse that you would want to throw into the mix. He's dropped quite nicely in the ratings on a mark of 71 now. He hasn't been blessed with draws at his last 2 starts. He's had to come from way back, and he's actually finished off his race fairly well. Last time out, finished 7th behind the Gliding Fish on the poly track. He runs well on the surface, and from gate 6 he could be slightly closer to the action, and he could represent some nice value in this contest with 56 kgs on the back. I think this is a very, very trappy contest, and a race where the guys probably need to go a bit wide in the final leg of the pick 6. If I were to look for a roving banker, this horse, number 2, Willow Express from the Sean Terry yard, ignore his last start, no finish. He jumped from gate number 2. He's run well on the surface in the past, and on some of his better runs, I think he could certainly be very, very effective. And Craig Zaki knows him well. So I think Willow Express could be the roving banker in a race of this nature, but it's a race where I don't have any confidence in these horses to have a go on the head.
Let me pick you up.
Yes.
Let me pick you up.
Talk to me.
I'm giant. Stand up on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Tell me what you see. That's me for this race. You know, this wasn't planned, but when I saw Louis Cousin's name for the trainers' interviews, I got a bit excited. And when it came to this race in particular, I was hoping for the comments that he did give.
Yeah.
Because if he was sitting on the fence and that type of thing, then I would have been on the fence with my choice.
Then you wouldn't have told me you're a giant.
60, that's it. 16-1 Rodriguez, that's too big a price. That is huge. Go and look at the replay of his last start. You'll see that things did not go this horse's way. And he wasn't punished in the latter stages of the race by Dennis Swartz. Draws, you mentioned, considering that he was one of the faster finishers in 22.8 seconds behind the Gliding Fish, who he meets again. I say the Gliding Fish doesn't beat him this time round. He's better drawn. He's a poly specialist. Dennis knows him well. Louis of the opinion that maybe a bit more help from the handicapper. Well, I'm going to say it's good enough. Racing off a 71. You look at his profile, number 6, you know, the highest that he has earned in his career is an 81, and this is the lowest mark that he's racing off in his career to date. I like him a lot. I think he's too big a price at 16-1. We got the rubber stamp from Louis. That gives me a bit more confidence. That's going to be my top choice. There's only one other runner that I'll be including in the pick 6, and I've been following number 5, Villa Viacosa. Went for him at his penultimate start. Things did not go his way for the apprentice. and last time out finding one better. So I'm not going to throw the horse away, but he's having his first run on the poly track. So I just like 2 runners here, Ryle, 5 and 6, but big, tremendous value. Rodriguez, Mr. Henley onto Rodriguez. That's going to be my play for the day. Places and wins.
If that arrives, well,
Whoa.
Dees is the man to follow.
Christmas.
Christmas has come early towards the end of June. But yep, number 6 Rodriguez, number 5 Villa Vicosa, and then a horse like Willow Express, who's never far off the action, could certainly get involved as well in race number 9.
Well, it's a nice long day for you, the valued racing fan. On Sunday, we end off on the poly track, race number 10 over 1400 meters, and hopefully you're ahead. You're in the green when it comes to the spend on the day, and you're looking to build on that profit. Well, let's go to our package.
Goes 2.5 lengths clear. Chelsea Flowers under the drive. Nelly Melba's trying to kick in. Skytrix on the outside, but Among the Clouds has opened up a useful 3-length advantage. On the outside, Juliet Tango, but it's Among the Clouds, the unmistakable grey, and this is all over bar the shouting. One Path second, Nelly Melba third, then came Juliet Tango.
Slowly dropping back down in the handicap again. Much better run last time. Yeah, so I'm happy with her. She'll be competitive as well.
Yeah, Andrew Fortune, he can make it look very easy sometimes, like he did there in that replay for Justin Snate on Among the Clouds. Let's bring up the field, race number 10 over this 1400 meter trip. And whilst we have a look at this, Ryle, I'm going to read out some betting for the guys and girls. So number 1, Miss Pageant. I know that you've gone for her in the past. Maybe today you're going to give her a last chance, but she's got the form to win. She's trading at 11-2. Number 2, Happy Fortune at 11-2. 3, Princess Palace is at 6-1. 4, Shisantombi at 7-1. Then we got Pour Some Sugar on Me, who I think is going to run a blinder against this type of field at 6-1. Number 6, Maverick Queen at 11-2, and then number 10, Among the Clouds. We saw that replay. That's at 33-10. You've gone for this filly in the past, but I think now that your confidence will grow a bit, Ryle, with her drawn 1 against this type of field. Happy Fortune, Daryl Moore is picking his spots, and he's got Richard Faree up. That will grab your attention. 5, Pour Some Sugar on Me, liked her last start. I think she's ready to put in a big, bold effort on Sunday. Then Sean Terry's runner. That last start wasn't the worst at the Turfentine track over 1160. I think she'll enjoy the step up in distance. Among the Clouds, we saw win a career second win last time out, where she made it look very easy, and she could be ready to win again. But if I had to choose a roving banker in the race, I like number 5. And if I had to choose 2 runners in the last pick 3, it'll be 5 and 1.
Dees, I think number 10 will win again. Among the Clouds. This filly, all I want to see from her on Sunday is copy and paste from what happened last time out. Andrew Fortune got her across from the draw. This filly was in a handy position, and he made his move at the right time, and she skipped away from the opposition. Only gone up to 5 points. The word was that she's perhaps off to start after the season, so they're looking to perhaps get another win out of her, this daughter of Lancaster Bomber. And I think with her confidence restored, her confidence on a high after a dominant performance last time out, I think that she's trading at 33-10. I think come race time, she'll start a lot short in the market, and for me, she's a horse that they all have to beat. You're right, I've gone for Miss Paget in the past, especially at her last 2 starts. She found 1 too good last time out. I think she's going to be there or thereabouts from gate number 1. So 1 to include into exactas, trifectas and quartet. And then even Pour Some Sugar on Me, I went for her last time out. She just found Quintasia 1 too good, having to concede a ton of weight that day, 14 kgs to be exacties. And that was the difference at the end of the day, 14 kgs to Quintasia. And she's certainly a filly that will be in the mix. 1, 5, 10. I think in terms of jackpot 2, I think those numbers will be enough. But I think number 10 Among the Clouds is the roving banker and the horse to beat.
Okay, 2 and 5 for me, but I can hear Ryle, because now that I have a closer inspection on number 10 Among the Clouds, her last start she raced an average rating of 76. Yeah. This is a 72, and although she's up 2.5 kgs from her last win, The fact is, the average rating of this field is a bit weaker than she met last time out, so that could be the sign that you're looking for. So 10 among the clouds for Raheel, 1 and 5 for me. I think numbers 1, 5 and 10 could be good enough for that last pick three. If you're playing the last pick three, you happy with 1, 5 and 10?
Happy D's.
Okay, that is it, guys. Thanks to Raheel Radhakrishna, thanks to the Gallop TV team, and to you, the valued racing fan. If you are playing on the Sunday, have a good one. It's the KZN Breeders' Day, 10 races on the go. Again, we remind you that it's poly and turf that is mixed up throughout the race meeting. So take note of that when structuring those of exotics. Raheel Radhakrishna, Gallop TV, myself, D's down, and to you, the valued racing fan. Until we meet again, you take care. Salanigaste.